So amazing, as you said, when you see people putting all their attention and energy into what we can do. You know, we know what the problem is now. I know some people don't, and there's absolutely a place for the people that are waking up at their own pace to be going through that learning journey, and everyone needs to go through that. But once you've done it, you don't need to stay there. You put all that energy, and when you look at, when we were talking about how on purpose you are now, no wonder, because one of the things that a lot has been proven about when you really feel on purpose is you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to push yourself above what's easy. If it's too easy, it's never satisfying, is it?
Right.
You know, and look at what can be achieved when people are really that passionate about something and it's really hitting them in their core beliefs and everything. It's absolutely incredible. Oh, it's my cat. He loves the fire in here and he just knocks everything off my desk.
Yes, that's what they do.
Absolutely everything. Every single time I'm just about to record, he lands on there and he's like a panther. He's huge. So in terms of some of the tips, if people are watching this and they're sort of still feeling that roller coaster of emotions, because obviously we're still at the state where we're getting lots of positive things happening, but we're still getting a lot of control mechanisms being pushed on us. What would be some of your key areas of advice for everyday people that are watching this, that know what we do, but are thinking, what can I do myself to really help this?
I would say and this goes back to what we talked about in the beginning with the mass formation, which is you cannot stay isolated.
Yeah.
You have got to have at least one other person that you get together with who knows the truth. So community is immunity. So you need to have at least one other person that you go to coffee with or take a walk with. So make sure you do not stay isolated. And if you are still isolated, please understand that there are groups everywhere who are meeting in secret. We have, it's not even an underground railroad anymore. I mean, we're right out there. So make sure that you are part of some group. And whether they're getting together to rescue animals or grow a garden or make herbal tinctures or do yoga in the morning, just make sure that you have some social interaction. There might be a church that actually, where you feel the Holy Spirit, get involved in that. And if Jesus hasn't been your thing, please understand that Christ consciousness is where we're going. So when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light, no one comes to the Father but through me, he was not talking about, okay, you got to be a Christian and do all this stuff. No. You need to be as Jesus was. The Christ consciousness is this divine love. It's God's love. Ask that help you, that come through you. So that's really, really important. I would say, actually, having a relationship with God, the number one thing you can do. And if you don't know what that is, all you have to do is ask. Okay, now I want people to understand their own tolerance. Many sensitive empaths cannot tolerate all of the information that's out there on the children, on the blood, they just can't see it. Their nervous systems are too sensitive. So do not make yourself watch things that are like that.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Some of us can handle it and some of us can't. And then give yourself media holidays. So now, just in general, don't ever watch the BBC. Don't ever watch NBC, CBS. They're all owned by the same 6 people. Do not watch the news ever, because they're so clever. They have malignant intuition. They know what's going to keep you afraid. They know what's going to make you despondent. They know. And so don't give them your attention. Isn't this term, pay attention?
Yeah.
You're paying them with your attention. Let us withdraw our attention. Listen to the positive stuff. You know, when you and Janine had your YouTube channel, it was always uplifting. You would take on the subjects, but always with an uplifting twist.
Yeah.
There are some people whose work even though it's good work, I can't be in the frequency of it. So here's the thing. You want to know the truth of what's going on. And let me be clear, it's much worse than you can ever imagine. And the future is much better than we can ever imagine. So how do we do this? We need to use our superpower of thoughts become their physical equivalents. Choose the good ones, not from denial, because that's what's happened with New Age stuff. All this denial, you know, okay, butterflies and unicorns, and we'll just forgive them. And he didn't mean it. That's what I'm not talking about that. It's being grounded in fierce divine love, God's love, and fierce truth simultaneously. And don't ever, ever lose your sense of humor. You can tell who is godly by how funny they are. I mean, if you can't laugh, but don't be around those people who are deadly serious, because that'll kill you.
So true. Oh, it's always so uplifting speaking to you. And I think what's so wonderful is to see your amazing community that you've got now that you're building. One final question I did want to ask. How big is your circle of trust now?
Oh man, it's smaller.
Yeah.
So that it's smaller than it's ever been. I would say, maybe 25 people. Maybe 20, 25, and I could probably list them out. The ones that I talk to every day is probably more like 10.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that the people that had been friends for decades, there are certain places they can no longer go. They just can't come along to where I am, but we can still talk. But I don't want to talk to them. See, well, it's like I'm very, very careful with my energy. I don't want to just meet with somebody to do small talk unless they really see clearly the whole of the agenda and then can add to my knowledge base. Then I want to spend time with them. But otherwise, no. And but what you said at the beginning, being on mission, is an amazing, amazing feeling, because everything I've known for years about big pharma and about the Rockefeller, the Flexner report and all of that, it's all coming back. And as what is his name? Dannion Brinkley, who I love, Dannion said, the fight for the soul of humanity is being fought in public health.
Yeah, I agree. And it's such good advice you always give. I always feel so uplifted after you. And I think, you know, for anyone watching this, don't worry if your circle of trust is small. That's absolutely fine. You know, I think it's been a big lesson for everyone. and getting more and more aware. And, you know, I've made mistakes over the last year. And I'm sure I will do. But the great thing is we learn from them and we implement the lessons that we've learned rather than staying there. Thank you so much for your time. It's always such a pleasure. We're so grateful, not only for the time you share here, but for everything you're doing and your uplifting energy. So if I don't speak to you beforehand, had a wonderful festive season and lots of love for the new year.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.